Welcome shooters and collectors. Today we're going to be looking at the Delta AR Topgun in 9mm. Is this a unicorn pistol? I'll let you decide. I can tell you that only, I believe, 76 of these were manufactured in this configuration, which being 9mm with the satin finish. I decided to start with the box. I usually don't do that, but because there's so little information on these pistols, it's kind of interesting to look at the box because of the foam cutout. You can see that they had intended to either offer, or they did offer, a compensator and a red dot mount. You can sort of see the foam is cut out right there for the mount, and then of course the red dot. And in the instruction manual, there's screws. There's a photo of the pistol, and there's screws on the bottom of the frame that obviously allow for the mount to attach to the frame. So next thing I'd like to do is actually show you the instruction manual, since I have one. It is in Italian, so that doesn't really help too much, but here it is. I'll zoom in a bit for you. And this is pretty much the most basic instruction manual I've ever seen. And because it's only like 4 pages long, and it's just got the attention and the photo of the pistol here, pretty much the same pistol that I just showed you. And then it shows a couple of the features: safety, slide release, magazine release there, which they call the hold open instead of the slide release. And then here they show the different adjustments to the trigger, and then there's the 3 screw holes, if you can see that, for the mount. That I guess was an option that you could do. And I don't know Italian, so I cannot tell you what these screws are for here. I'm sure they're for pre-travel or post-travel, and for the trigger weight. If somebody, I'll zoom in for a second, and if somebody knows Italian and wants to look that up, or Google Translate it, feel free to do so and post in the comments. I'd greatly appreciate it. And then going back, the next page is just the parts of the gun, the takedown, and it's kind of a little bit of interesting because the hammer is similar to like a SIG P210, where it's all held together. And then I'll show you in a little bit this piece here for the muzzle that unscrews, and then the trigger system is all one piece as well. And I'll show you that. I'm not going to take that apart, but I'll show you where that is, and then we'll do a little easy disassembly. And that's the instruction manual. Very basic, very to the point, I guess. So let's begin by taking a look at the pistol itself. For all the guns I've been fortunate enough to borrow and do reviews on and things like that, I would say this one is probably the Rolls Royce of all pistols. Just because the care that was given to it when it was manufactured, and just the little design things that you see that just are incorporated into it. And so I'll show you a little bit of the muzzle here with the barrel. Try to get a close-up of that. It's kind of hard with all the reflecting going on. And just show you some of this. And what is, of course, neat about this pistol, if you don't know, everything on it is actually ambidextrous. You have the safety on both sides, you have the magazine release on both sides, and of course you have the slide release on both sides. And typically on pistols, you know that you usually get 2 of the 3, which is the safety and magazine, but not the slide release. It's very unusual that you get the slide release as well on both sides. Like I said, there's a lot of fine detail to this gun. If you look back on the back of the slide, you'll find this really super fine checkering right here. I kind of wish when pistol manufacturers did do this, that they would actually put the slide on the frame and carry the checkering on over to the frame as well. I know that'd be probably difficult to do, but it would sort of help it all blend together. Then you wouldn't have this plain area right here. But I've never seen actually anybody do that. Of course, you have totally adjustable rear sight, and the front sight is held on by a little Allen screw there that goes through the center of it. The one interesting thing about this gun, well, there's lots of interesting things, of course, but the one thing you'll find very interesting if you ever go to shoot one is, as everything, I mean, when you look at the slide here, you know, you don't see the ejection port or anything. It comes out the top, and the extractor itself is right here. And boy, what it does is, unfortunately, and that's kind of difficult to see, is it flips the shell out and heads straight for your face, which is kind of a poor design for this pistol. But you know, I guess you could wear one of those clear face guards or whatever. But that please do be aware of that, and as always, wear safety glasses and things like that. But if you do ever get to shoot one of these, just be aware that that could happen. They did change it, I believe, a little bit later, so that wouldn't happen. But for the earlier ones, that's just the way it was. And now I'm going to go ahead and take the slide off and show you some of the internals. Oh, also here are the two screws right here, and they're also, and the trigger is on a rail system, so you can adjust the length of pull from, you know, front to back. Right here you can slide the trigger back and forth, which is really nice, similar to like an S series, you know, a Hammerly 280S or an a 6R X5. So just to get the slide off, all you do is pull this tab right here down. And let's see if I can do this correctly without messing anything up. It's a little difficult, or it's actually a little awkward to do, but that's it. You just pull this and you slide forward a little bit, similar to like a sort of like an HK P9S is. You just push in on the trigger and then it slides off a little bit, and you lift up, and that's it. So here's the internals of the pistol, and what's kind of interesting is usually when you're looking straight down, especially in this area here, you see all the mechanical parts of the trigger, you know, the spring and whatnot, and if there's any adjustments. But you don't see that at all on this one. And instead what they did is, on this side of the gun, the trigger, and you can sort of just barely see in there, there's a line, and that's because this whole piece here pulls out. And it's just one piece, but you really don't notice it when the gun's together unless somebody points it out. But it is sort of interesting that they did it that way. And of course, it has some sort of like rubber buffer, additional rubber buffer here. And like I said, that's the part you just pull down that's on the rails to take it out. And of course, I think there's one little screw right in there that you unscrew, and then you can remove the whole hammer system. And overall, it's a unique. I won't call it a unique system because it is based off a CZ pistol, especially the rollers, which I'll show you right here. And here they are, and then the rollers push against the slide and to lock it in place. And to take it apart is pretty easy, surprisingly. You know, sometimes you get these really unique pistols and, oh, they're just a nightmare to take apart. But this one, all you do is you just start unscrewing this right here. And it is very finely threaded. And you can sort of pull back on the spring to get tension off of it a bit. And I'll show you the threading on this. Usually you'd think the threading would be a lot coarser. But on this, it is very, very fine. So you want to be careful when you put it back on. I don't think it's possible to cross-thread it because the barrel is in there holding it really tight in place. But you can see that it is very finely threaded. And another thing I'll go ahead and mention, the parts are all numbered. So the slide is numbered, the frame is numbered, and this piece is numbered. I can't remember if the hammer is numbered somewhere, but they all have a matching serial number throughout on them. Then to get this out, of course, the spring just comes out, and you just push this forward like that, and then the rollers can sort of will just retract in, and you sort of lift it up like that, and out comes the barrel. And you also have a really nice tuning fork. So, and that's it. There is no firing pin block here on the slide. They didn't incorporate one of those. And that's it. Surprisingly, it comes apart pretty easy, and it's fairly easy to get back together as well. Overall, to be honest, it's not my gun, so I didn't shoot it. I'm not going to. The trigger on it does seem pretty darn nice. I don't have any snap caps, so I don't. I'm not going to try to dry fire it without a snap cap, and but it breaks. Seems to break extremely clean with no creep whatsoever. There might be a little creep in there. It's sort of hard. I was holding my thumb on the hammer while I was pulling the trigger to see how it did do, but overall it seemed to have a really nice, clean, crisp trigger. I guess I could do that for you right now. So the trigger does seem a little bit heavy, so I'm sure you could adjust that and lighten it if you like. So let's see, there's the ball right there, and then let's see, that's it. It just breaks. There doesn't seem to be any creep whatsoever in it. Anyway, that's kind of a review of I'd like to say my Delta AR Topgun. I can't say that, but a Delta AR Topgun. And thanks for watching. I hope you like it. If you know anything about them, please post it in the comments. I'd always like to learn more about them. Have a good day.